If just one party member was down, its power doubled, and if two were down, it tripled. Such enhancements were quite crazy, but as Aerith wasn't really positioned as a powerhouse physical fighter, it wasn't all that useful, as in most situations, Aerith would be better off attempting to revive the fallen party members even odds.
Already started a little bit on it. I kind of messed up, so I'm going to be building this. This is from the Black Friday.
The other factor
it's over $100-something. We got the Star Trek Enterprise D over here unboxed, so we haven't built that yet. That's why the title hasn't said Enterprise.
When it was acquired, it was
go ahead and build this real fast.
Weapon, but due to its extremely limited use case, and the fact that it had little to no late-game value, it had very little actual practical application.
Come with
even if it was messed up right, it didn't really matter, as there were no real scenarios outside of a one-point completion run, or one where physical stats had been min-maxed to the extreme on Aerith, where the Princess Guard was necessary at all.
Peel this back and everything.
Coming out a year after the release of Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII did a lot to turn what worked in previous entries in the series on its head. But it's most notable for replacing most of the series' long-held and finely tuned progression mechanics in favour of the junction system. The system gave players near complete freedom over how to build their characters, limited only by their inventory of magic spells, but it also removed the need for all equipment as a result, save paradoxically for weapons.
Come on.
In Final Fantasy VIII, instead of buying weapons, they were instead upgradable by junk shops that, when the correct materials were obtained, could transform each character's weapon into a better form. These newer forms all boasted better stats, but the stat increases were moot, as a lot more function in this regard could be delivered by a proper optimization of the junction system. Squall stood out in this regard, as acquiring Lionheart was the only way to obtain his ultimate limit break. The other characters did not have the same benefit, which created a real dilemma in terms of reward versus time expenditure. Amongst this group, Zell's Erguise often has the biggest quandary relating to it, as it was the worst amongst the selection of ultimate weapons in terms of collective raw power, but it was also one of the hardest to obtain. It offered a boost of 25 to the strength stat, which was tied with Priestess's Save the Queen, Selfie's Strange Vision, and Erguine's Avidity. But what set Zell's ultimate weapon apart is that it had the awkward and dubious honour of sporting the worst hit rate of 103. Not only that, its stats were only marginally better than Zell's second best weapon, Gauntlet, which had 20 strength and a hit rate of 101. Considering Zell was capable of dealing massive amounts of damage just fine on his own through his limit break, or through junctioning the right spells to his strength that organically, it meant that collecting the Adamantine, Dragon Skin and Fury Fragment necessary to craft the weapon wasn't really worth the effort in comparison to the other ultimate weapons available in the game. Final Fantasy V featured a multitude of powerful weapons, from the Ragnarok through to the sealed weapons. There are also two hidden weapons called the Chicken Knife and the Brave Blade that were more than comparable, except their functions were opposed to each other. Both could be found in the town of Moor in the merged world after following a secret network of passages and then speaking to an old man. You then had to choose to be a coward, thus receiving the Chicken Knife, or not, which granted the Brave Blade. Initially, choosing the Brave Blade seemed like a wise choice, as it had a raw attack power of 150, which was higher even than the Ragnarok. But it came with a very specific caveat. Its attack power decreased every single time the party ran from an encounter, and this output was based on every retreat across the entire game, not just those that happened after acquiring the Brave Blade. It was also restricted to only being wielded by knights and freelancers, and after learning how much more powerful and versatile the Chicken Knife could be, it rendered the Brave Blade almost completely useless by comparison. When discussing ultimate weapons in relation to specific characters, it's easy to assume that they should be the character's best and most reliable choice when it comes to dealing massive damage and receiving other benefits. When it came to most of the ultimate weapons in Final Fantasy IX, the notion was certainly true. Vivi's Mace of Zeus, for example, was not only a powerful staff, but it could also teach Vivi the spell Doomsday, and Steiner's Excalibur II was in a class of its own. At first glance, Queen's ultimate weapon, the Gastrofork, seemed comparable to its peers. It had the highest attack power for that character, and could even inflict the stop status on enemies. But that was before taking into consideration how Queen's fork weapons actually functioned. At the start, forks essentially dealt random damage, which meant that the Gastrofork's high attack stat was useful in determining maximum damage, but was not indicative of the average damage dealt. What's more, while the chance of clicking stop was certainly useful, the Gastro fork itself didn't offer Queen any opportunities to learn abilities, as it shared the sole learnable support ability with all other fork weapons, which was High Tide. But this was due to the fact that Queen's blue magic skill set was instead acquired through the E command. To top it all off, getting the Gastro fork itself was an involved quest, as it required clearing the frog-catching minigame side quest, which included also besting Quail from Q's Marsh in combat. And although Quail wasn't quite on the same level as Ozma and Hades, they were still classified as a super boss due to them having the most HP of any enemy in the game and delivering high damage through strong water abilities and critical attacks. And then compared to the other quests for ultimate weapons, the payoff for the Gastro fork just wasn't anywhere near as strong. That then brings us on to Final Fantasy XV, a game that featured a ton of powerful weapons of varying classifications.
Okay.
Some of them, like the Balmong,
but there's only one problem with this.
What?
Is I noticed the target, they put it right next to each other.
Quest that began right at the start of the game.
So it's hard
These
to know
weapons
what's
were designed as powerful relics from the past, able to grant strong stat boost, but also featuring great raw stats as well. This made them akin to the likes of the sealed weapons from Final Fantasy V, which were catered for all different kinds of playstyles. The downside was that when used, Noctis's health drained, and they could not be used to exploit any weaknesses amongst enemies. Still, due to how powerful they were, the trade-off was sometimes worth it. And amongst the group, the Sword of the Tool, which was a great sword, offered the highest raw attack power at a whopping 518, with only a handful of other weapons in the game offering higher stats. Most of those, in terms of the greatsword category, were locked to chapter 15. To obtain the Sword of the Tool, players simply had to find it in Fossil Mark Tower, a challenging dungeon, and on paper it was a worthwhile acquisition due to that raw power and the fact it granted Noctis an extra 200 HP. But the downside was that the Sword of the Tool was incredibly slow, and it decreased all of Noctis's major elemental resistances by 40%. Meaning its damage dealing potential was dire in comparison to many other weapons, while making Noctis even more vulnerable to taking damage and having that damage received being boosted. It meant that there was seldom a situation where the Sword of the Tool, despite its incredible attack power, was recommended for use, making it a pretty strong candidate for this discussion. But with that, there were 7 ultimate weapons that were almost completely useless. Be sure to let us know in the comments below which you found to be the most useful. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Alright everyone, with that, this is Daryl signing out. As always, I'd like to give a big thank you.
Oh shit, where did that piece go? God damn it. This one, huh?
Here are the top 10 most underrated games for the Nintendo Entertainment System, according to fans of the NES. These are often referred to as hidden gems as well. Number 10 is Little Nemo, the Dream Master. I hope you like platformers because there's a lot of them on this list today. In this one, you feed Katie to certain monsters, which allows you to merge with them and use their abilities to locate various keys that are scattered around. It's from Capcom, and you'll be feeling the Capcom charm as you play it. With its high graphical fidelity and fantastic music, I'd say it's best described as a combination of Kirby and DuckTales. It's unknown to me why it got overlooked, but I completely understand why people enjoy it. Number 9 is Super Dodgeball. You play as Team USA, and you have to beat other big-headed teams from around the world. You basically hit the opposing players until they die. I mean, actually die. I imagine some people don't give this one a chance because it looks like a mindless and superficial sports game. But there's actually a lot of strategy involved in passing the ball and scoring hits on the opponents. And each of the members of your team have different abilities and move sets. This game is just more than the sum of its parts. In case case you're wondering, here's how I came up with this list. I thumbed through various message boards, Reddit posts, YouTube comment sections, YouTube videos, and even Facebook looking for mentions of underrated and hidden gem games for the NES, and logging them. After 5 hours, I ended up with over 1,500 mentions. I did some data analysis on those 1,500 to find what games got mentioned the most, and that's how I ended up with this list. Number 8 is Kabuki Quantum Fighter. I feel silly saying that. Here's another bizarre platformer that got overlooked, and maybe it's because it has a bizarre name and bizarre cover art. But Kabuki has one unique attribute that makes it stand out. You use your hair to kill enemies. And the thing is, the tone is actually very serious. And they went all out with the graphics. There's a lot of detail of moving objects in the background and the foreground. People say it reminds them of Batman on the NES, which is a positive thing to say. Others say it's more like Ninja Gaiden. Either way, one can fully understand why it's on this list. Number 7 is Jackal. It's hard to believe a Konami game can be overlooked since they get a lot of attention and notoriety, but Jackal seems to have slipped through the collective crack. You drive a little Jeep around, shooting things with heavy or light attacks while picking up hostages. You then have to drop off those hostages at a waiting helicopter. Learning to aim and kill things from a safe distance is the key to winning, and you'll be rewarded with satisfying explosions and sound effects. And to top it off, 2 players can play this game at the same time. Number 6 is Clash at Demon Town. Think of this as a regular game, but with some RPG elements mixed in, like having to collect money to spend on shops. And there's also a lot of Metroidvania elements as well. The map screen is very unique, at least to me. All those lines are stages, basically, and at the various intersections, you have to choose the next path, and you do that on the same screen here. The key is figuring out what paths to go on first, so that you end up getting the power-ups you need to overcome certain obstacles. There's some trial and error at first, but once you start succeeding, a fulfilling game unfolds before you. Number 5 is Shatterhand. This one came out 5 years after the launch of the NES, and it was also after the launch of the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. So a lot of people ended up missing it, and those who did see it on the shelf saw this rather corny looking artwork. But the name of the game is perfect, because it summarizes everything you need to know about it. You go through side-scrolling stages, punching things until they die or explode. It's hilarious, but at the same time it works perfectly. It's like if you take Jax from Mortal Kombat 3 and make a game solely about him, it would be like this one. There's a little bit more to Shatterhand than just straight up action. You have to collect money to buy upgrades, and whenever you collect 3 letters, a robot assistant will fight alongside you. Number 4 is Star Tropics. It's like Zelda, but in a tropical environment, and instead of a sword, you have a yo-yo. It's a risky concept, and that might be why it got overlooked. There are basically 2 gameplay modes. There's this zoomed out, traditional RPG style, where you talk to people, buy items, and trigger events. And then you have these zoomed in dungeons that are a bit more linear and puzzle-based than Zelda's. And there's a lot of Qbert-like hopping that you have to do, but all the fundamentals are sound. And the yo-yo as a weapon concept works pretty well. Number 3 is Faxanadu. That is my preferred pronunciation of it. This is likely the most seriously toned game in today's list. In it, you have been away for a while, and you've come back to your kingdom to find it falling apart and taken over by monsters. You have been chosen to fix it, but you have hardly anything to start off with. So you have to walk the land, scavenging what you can, earning money for better items. Many people describe this as Castlevania 2, only not as esoteric with its puzzles, and you cannot instantly die from falling into a pit. Others note the dark atmosphere. This is quite a game, and I think everyone should play it.
I played it.
Before we get to number 1 and 2, I want to do an honorable mention dump on you. I probably could have said that differently, but these games just barely missed being in the top 10, and they are in no particular order. The Battle of Olympus. Metal Star. Power Blade. River City Ransom. Rygar. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. Little Samson. Maniac Mansion.
Is the top one?
And now for number 2, and that is Crystallis. This is an RPG that can appeal to people that don't like RPGs because it's so easy to just pick up and start playing. Instead of slow, methodical walks where you're forced into prolonged creature encounters, here you move at the speed of Usain Bolt. This allows you to run past creatures if you don't feel like fighting them. And you can also get to your destinations within the blink of an eye. The music is exactly what it needs to be, not fanciful, but it also doesn't hurt your ears. The graphics also only do what they need to do. The programmers evidently didn't care about winning awards here. They just wanted a fun experience for the player, which is what this is. It probably got overshadowed by higher profile games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior.
Nope, you're not gonna fall on the floor like that. Let's go.
Number 1 is The Guardian Legend. Here it is, the game that gets mentioned the most often when people are talking about underrated or hidden gems on the NES. It has 2 styles of gameplay. In some sections, it's a vertical shoot-'em-up, and in other sections, it has overhead exploration on foot. Weapons you find in those exploration stages can be used in the shoot-'em-up stages. People like how the developers were able to design 2 high-quality modes without making compromises. The shoot-'em-up parts are fast-paced and allow you to dish out a lot of firepower. The exploration parts allow you to shoot and move in 8 directions. Until I made this video, I never really played this game before. Even though I struggled at first, once I figured out what I was doing, I didn't want to stop playing. It's just an awesome game, and it's a shame there are NES fans who have never played it. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep in mind, I do a lot of top 10 lists, so check out the links in the description. Thanks for...
Damn it. I'm gonna take that piece off and fix it. He's got the back, so maybe there's an extra.
Fall asleep in my chair.
For sure. Careful.
I don't want to roll here. I don't know.
Just be careful when you're doing this.
Stupid bed.
Mm-hmm. Trash in there.
Did you move it?
No, it's been occupied by the Enterprise, man.
Did you throw the Enterprise away?
No, it's on top of it.
I'm just
No,
joking.
you're not. It's not
Joking.
even funny, honey.
I'm sorry, I'm not a comical person.
Well, it's not funny, though.
I'm just saying.
Well, it would be funny if the Enterprise threw the trash can away.
I'll try not to knock it over.
Oh, it's alright.
Forgive me if I do.
Alright.
I need a nap.
If I go to nap, I'm gonna nap all night, so sleep a little longer.
May I get some hot chocolate there?
No, this is from Mom to make hot chocolate.
I didn't put it to decorate our house.
Mm-hmm.
In the kitchen or whatever.
Well, I started building it during World of Warcraft, but I messed up during that part. There was a part I messed up on. The foundation. I had to redo it. So. And this goes. This way. This way. Now that I gotta go take the trash out. I don't trust those people downstairs to take it out. You know, it's supposed to be someone's job to do that, but. This way. Let's go to this side. No. One piece I'm missing is one piece, and I don't know where it went to. So weird. And that's probably will be at the end because I do have to go to work in 3 hours. So. Oh, that's those are nice. Let's be either. This goes over this, this. No, it goes this way. This. pigs. Girls. I think I've got the concept of this already. Those are the section pieces, so. How do these go back? This one? We have the hot chocolate stand. Quick little build, but it is 340. It's not something like get ready for work. And yeah. Don't worry, we got plenty of Lego builds, so we spent over $398. And the way to get the Enterprise dirt cheap is to save up your points and then get it. I had $30 worth of points, so yeah, that's how I got it. So there you guys go. We have the hot chocolate stand. Little coffee mug. Here are definitely building more. One little thing. Really not that many pieces left over. I am missing. Oh, I thought I was missing it. There you are. It's been hiding underneath something all the time. Here you guys go. I've been. What happened is I started building it during Warcraft and got distracted when I got into a dungeon and I messed up the flooring by 1 or 2 studs, so it's basically finished. This is how it looks. This is the box. I think you have to spend over 150, I'm not sure. Go to the Lego website and find out for yourself. But this is done. I'm going to put this down right here so I can show you the big chill pull-uppy that we're going to be building within a few days time period. Just give me a minute to get out of here. We do have the u.s.s. Enterprise Sentinel 100D. So we are going to be building this. It's still in its box. But we have the mini builds. I think we have one mini build left. Let me see. For your purchase. You have the castle, which is 590 pieces. I think you build 2 of these castles together. It looks like, whoa, look at an alternate build. That's pretty cool. So that's when you spend over $300. And then, of course, the cram, the shuttle. That comes with the Enterprise. We'll be building that with the Enterprise. I'm still looking for a light kit for that, so hopefully that goes in. Stay tuned. These guys said this, my wife later on. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have our stand ready for the Enterprise and the shuttle. So right now I gotta do adult things, which is take out the trash cans, do a shower, go to bed. So stay tuned for more Lego building. Hope you guys have a good one. Thank you.